All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here this not so much Thursday. I kept thinking this whole day today was Thursday. So, might I say this Wednesday, December 13th. Great to see all of our students and members alike inside our live trading room. Perhaps a slow week for myself, but a fast week within the market. Just coming off the Fed meeting just now, where they ended up leaving the rates unchanged. Pretty, not surprising, right? I mean, I think that we all knew that that was coming, but what we did not necessarily expect, or either way, what we have to react off of is that headline, and that being the move that immediately came. And this is what I was mentioning from earlier this week, in the sense of, hey, we might have an expectation of what the Fed will say. And actually right now, 2:30 p.m. Eastern live, I got a little stiff competition this afternoon meeting here. We got Jerome Powell talking same time as me here, so probably get some good movement within the market altogether, like live. But that's where I was saying, yes, we know what we're likely to expect with the Fed decision, likely to leave the rates unchanged, but we did not necessarily expect any one move up or down, over the other. So what we saw off the Fed was a really strong pop. I mean, right out the gate, this thing just popped right over 465, ended up just breaking new 52-week highs, of course, with that said. And we're getting pretty close towards where we had some good resistance dating back to the end of 21, the end of 2021, where SPY ended up like breaking over this 470 price, but it had a tough time doing it. It was like 470, 471. You could just see here for a number of days over time from November to basically, this time back in 21. So, hey, heading into the end of this week, hopefully we continue to see good traction as we lead up closer towards that next historical level. But of course, with this pop on the SPY, we have been following a bunch of name brand stocks that could go with the market. Obviously, stocks like AMD, which have been very strong of late. We've been following this obviously for a long time now, but with that in mind, we were just looking at the break over the VWAP price on AMD back yesterday. It led to a huge pop and breakout there. So that's where I was kind of saying, considering the last 2 days with the Fed popping here, the Fed, in the market popping, AMD over the VWAP right off the Fed news. That was a pretty good setup too. But, hey, going into the close, I don't mind putting this just on our side list here to begin. We normally call out AMD and trade it, but if there's something less expensive, making even better of a move on the way up, that's something that we'll look to try and focus in on. SOXL could be that. This is the chip ETF. So, where a lot of us may find AMD or NVIDIA expensive, SOXL is your cheaper alternative. So, again, I could add this to our watch list at the very end, moving up pretty nicely here still. But let's just actually go back. Let's go back to the one that pretty much every one of us were following at some point in time or another today from yesterday, and that is CCCC. Obviously, C4 is the name of the company. So C4 ended up making a really strong pop yesterday, but going into the day, and we made this post just point blank in the chat board. I want to bring this up because it is extremely important. If you are John or Kathleen or Ravina, Ray, whomever inside our live trading room, for you to read these posts. Again, myself and Rich, we're trying to identify these big iceberg levels, not only iceberg levels, but simply put, just strong historical levels. Timestamp 11:22 Eastern today. Daily chart levels 484 and 529. Of course, we'll talk about what's ahead here should this continue. But that was at 11:30 in the morning, guys. So you had the time to plot that as a level, and it's not a guarantee that it's going to make that blast. But with higher lows, what do we normally get after? So if it's not breaking lower, there is hope to see this continue. And with that, not only did this move up to 484 and 529 just later here, but it broke over both. And now let's go to our daily chart, because now we're getting closer towards the next level. And let's see if we can really show it here. Let's see. I think I went back. It was more around. Maybe I even have to go back to the weekly chart perhaps there to show it better. Yeah, that might be That might be it. So it's right here. Yeah, right here. Back from June, late May of last year, bottomed out roughly around, it's actually 619, not 629. So correction there. 619, 620. That seems to be a pretty good bottom, back around this time. It eventually retested, then broke lower. So, the more this keeps pushing up, that's where you could at least, hope, anticipate, see if this can make the better push up towards the next level, roughly at that 619, 620. Obviously, that said, $6 whole number level, of course, would come first. But actually, just a moment ago, it blasted it, popped it here to begin. So, obviously, we'll put C4 on our watch list here. I keep saying C4. CCCC is very wordy, I feel. Very lettery, might I say. So, with that in mind, let's go from top to bottom here now, see what else we could add to our list. Obviously, the market pushing up still, and, we'll hope to see a stronger reaction on a few other trades here. Yeah, AMD is popping right back up right now as I'm just looking at my book map. And yeah, the SPY just broke higher right now too, same time. So thankfully, whatever our good friend Jerome is talking about here right now, it's actually helping the market. So nice push. We'll see if we can get up towards that 470, 471 area. If not today, then we got time. We got tomorrow, Friday. But as we continue to go through now, STTK, not looking too good here. Made a lower high just before. We were calling it out, looking to see if it could break over 475. Never did it. So pass on that one. LQR, hey, this stock. I was going to say that can't be all the daily chart data or all the long-term data there. So this stock obviously took a huge hit back from 23, $70 roughly, if not more, all the way down to sub one, actually dating back to earlier this week. This was below $1. Wow, it's already at 2 now, so 100% plus move already off that low. Hey, it has a good book. It's still near the highs. I don't mind adding this here, LQR. We'd called it out earlier, but the C4 ended up just obviously, taking significance, importance, but, nice push across the day today for this one. NXTP. So let's talk about this one quickly. This one popped up really nicely, ended up actually getting halted and then off the reopen. Well, as we spoke about even in Traders Talk, our weekly workshop this week, the opening halt print, it was at 168. I have that line still. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see if NXTP, do I still have it up here? There we go, I do. All right. Yeah, it was this. It was 168. So I need to move my line up from my regular chart. But the opening halt print, this is what essentially became resistance later on. It popped back up, and I was telling my student I was on a coaching session with, for the time distance in between level tests, it's about 30 minutes roughly. You can't take this trade right away. So it popped and it pulled back. Well, there's a chance to see it try and make another push, but never did. If it's not going to make that big move going up, then you know what move it's going to make. A big move, just the opposite direction. So, yeah, that 168 price, essentially, it was the opening halt print on the NXTP held. I guess trying to inch up a little bit here, but the spread is actually ugly for a dollar stock. So I have no real interest in this one right now either. All right. Well, hey, View. Actually, this thing had to have just popped back up suddenly here. This thing has awful volume on the book as well. I'm not a fan of this order book at all, but I'm a fan of the move. It's hard to ignore the move. It's not just the fact that it's up 55, 56%. But ended up seeing this push up all across the day today, ended up pushing up from yesterday, the day before. This thing has been on fire. So again, I just really wish it had better liquidity out there on the book. I mean, this really makes it kind of untradeable. So, again, I like the C4 better, the LQR better. There's going to be a bunch of stocks moving with the stock market. Hey, we got Fausto in the chat board right now, joining us live right now. Of course, definitely big pop in the market. We'll see if there's a few trades like Coinbase, Mara, the crypto stocks that could look to push with the market altogether. And let's see what else we got. So LQR already on our list. We're going to have to go through this gainers list with like a fine tooth comb. You got a lot that's actually up percentage wise and a lot that's like really not below $1. So I'm going to have to actually go through this pretty delicately here. we know pretty quickly what is worth watching and what isn't, just based on the chart, based on the trend. Actually, this not as much of a trend the last 30 or so minutes, but of course, up on the day, EOSE, actually the stock, really good volume on the book, and we are pretty familiar with it. Dating back to earlier this calendar year, ended up popping from 2 to 6 nearly, like nearly a 300% move there. And then on a second wind type of bounce, it's been a great day trade. Has this been a good swing trade? No. Maybe dating back to late May, early June, you could say that. But otherwise, we're not trying to hold this overnight. We are trying to day trade this. And you know what? As I've been talking, I think it may have just inched up another penny. It's trying. It's eking up there. So, yeah, I'll add EOS too. I don't mind. Doesn't hurt us to add the stock, at least at this point. ANY. So that takes me to the crypto stocks, right? Because ANY is actually a Bitcoin mining stock. Mining, if not mistaken. I know it's Bitcoin related, but Coinbase up 4+%, breaking new highs here. Well, intraday highs. It has to actually try and break over 150, like 148 ish, dating back to last week. But hey, obviously Coinbase we'll look to put on our list. I might just kind of tag the crypto stocks all together, right? Normally, I would not be so inclined to follow the crypto stocks on a given afternoon. Just one meeting with me here at 2:30. I've been saying that. So, hey, on a day like today where we have such strong movement on the way up, then rising tide lifts most boats, right? So, I'll add the crypto stocks certainly to our list. They look really good. Mara, CLSK. Just go through the rest of them, I guess. BKKT. This thing's actually up a little bit. I know John's been on the Bitfarm stock, which has been good to us of late as well. Yeah, I mean, most of them are all making the same move. Don't get me wrong. So, hey, if you're a student inside our live trading room, then you know which stocks are the crypto stocks. As a new member, I'll look to type that to you as soon as we finish up the meeting. But just on our watch list, you'll actually see me type it out as just crypto stocks, and it's all the ones that we just referenced there, pretty much. All right. Well, the hits keep on coming, though, folks. We got to keep going down this gainer side here. Running on zero water, actually. So, a little dry mouth. I haven't gotten my water delivery since I returned back to Florida, so that's an issue. Now, let's see what else we got here, though. Otherwise, we got Upstart up 12+%. Wow, this thing is ripping. All right, so easily enough, I'm going to add Upstart. Easily enough, I'm going to add Affirm. Those two move together, and then there's one more, and that one hasn't been as strong of late, but maybe SoFi. Yeah, why not? Come on down. There we go. The next contestant here on The Price is Right. So let's see what else we got here to wrap up the gainers list, though, folks. We got a lot already. So that's where I was saying I don't want to just add 50 stocks to our list. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need to add every single stock that's up right now in the market, but we have a lot of activity to kind of see through. So run. Hey, I could easily add this to our list as well. It's up 11+% at the highs. I know Mike's been a big fan of this one of late. Let me just kind of finish up on the gainers here. Check out a stock like Macy's, which we've done really well on over the last couple of days as a long, then a short. I mean, it's making a little move right now, but it's not up as much percentage wise. So I guess I'll pass on this at least. But yeah, I'll add run, and then we'll hop over to the losers list. Yeah. All right. So let's see if there's anything looking good on the loser side here, folks. I mean, the market's popping, but I don't know what happened to stock BQ, but got crushed down 56% today. I don't know if it's a new IPO or what, but yeah, this thing's a loser. It's down so much percentage wise. I was thinking maybe there could be like a possible dead cat bounce, but it's not looking that way. Same to be said with GTHX. I have no real desire to trade this, especially in the market that we have. Hey, Fausto's in the chat board, folks. I got to do my job. I actually got to go down this losers list, even with the market pushing up. We got to cross all T's, dot all I's here in this meeting. So, a stock like UEC, making a little recovery. The uranium sector here has actually been really strong of late. So, I wouldn't mind putting this on our side list. Come back to it tomorrow, not today at least. But, stocks like CCJ, UEC, the uranium stocks we've done really well on of late. Just keep an eye on them just on the side. Not going to put them on the main list. All right, so that would take me back at least to the other stocks we have on said side list here, really just AMD and the SOXL. And honestly, I'm just going to add this here. That's all. SOXL, that will be the last one, I think, for right now. But, hey, if there's anything else just popping really strong, folks, we're talking up at least more than 5% and popping much better than this even. If there is anything I missed of that nature, let me know. Type it in the chat board, please. I mean, there could always be one, but, definitely let me know. Otherwise, I like what we got. You know what I'm going to say at the end of this meeting here, especially on a day like today. I'm going to jump to Benzinga Pro here, our trusty scanners. Gotta love Benzinga Pro. I mean, such live, real-time data. So, aside from your platform, this would be a really good scanner to use on top of everything else. But got Upstart, which we have already. Run, which we have already. We got a couple here, but I don't know if they're making the best moves. Like, I think DPST is an ETF, no? Yeah, this is. Regional banks ETF. Oh, okay. Regional banks making a good pop at least. So what were the regional banks that were really running back like earlier, that were tanking earlier this year? I think we had, oh shoot, geez, my trader's dyslexia is really messing me up now. I mean, it's the end of the year, so try and think back to the stocks we were trading back in March, April time. Oh shoot, I forgot. I think WAL was one of them. Now that I think about it, Western Alliance, that was actually one of them. Pack W. Yeah, that's the one, Sam. That's the one I was thinking about. But incorrect symbol. Did they reticker? Did they get delisted altogether? Really, WAL is the only one I remember. Either way, this has bad liquidity, so I'm not as inclined to follow it, at least. Oh, my goodness. All right. I'm going to have to look this up after we finish up this meeting right now, folks. Bad radio here with me trying to think about this on the fly. But otherwise, though, we'll just check in at the end of this meeting as Rich jumps on. But either way, I mean, we don't need to add every single stock to our list. Rivion's pushing up a little bit. I'm sure Tesla's making a good pop right now. I like everything else that we already went through more. So no need to add here at this point, right? Pac W went off TradeStation about 2 months ago, asks Sam. Possibly, yeah. I don't even recall. Flavor of the week, not flavor of the year, right? So we lose track of a lot of these stocks that we call out over time. That's where you'll hear me say, like, oh, wow, I haven't seen the stock in so long. Geez, it dropped off this much. Yeah, you take your eyes off it for a little bit. Being the perfectionist I am right now, I'm really pissed at myself for not remembering the rest of the other bank stocks, the regional bank stocks. Now, we're not talking Citibank, Wells Fargo, obviously. KeyBank's one of them. KeyBank is one of them. Key. There we go. Yes, Josh. Thank you. All right. That was off the top of the dome right there. KeyBank, I could add to our list here, because if the regional banks are up pretty good, we're not going to add every one, but this one is definitely the most tradable, especially now with PAC-W being delisted, Sam. Whew. Geez, I had to force that one out. All right, so folks, we are going to finish up at least here for the meantime. Feel free to shoot me over a quick email if you have any other questions. Josh@c2trading.com is the handle. If you're interested in joining us inside our live trading room, should you be on our social media here. Just scan that QR code if you're fancy with your camera, fancy with your phone. Just on the top left, just scan that QR code there to join us for a full week. Join our students like Sam, Kathleen, Ravina, John, Michael, etc. And of course, instructors like Rich, myself, and the man himself, Fausto, each and every day. But folks, hey, give us a little bit. Rich will be on the mic in about 10, 11 minutes, and I'll be in the chat board. And I think Fausto will be as well, perhaps, but we'll be in the chat board taking you folks going into the close. Really strong afternoon to work with. So you knew what I was going to say. Start and stick with this watch list. Do not just start off on random Joe Schmo stock XYZ. I just ran through the whole market, folks. I'm going to start off on the C4. I'm going to start off on the SOXL, obviously, because of my interest in AMD. But start with at least something on our watch list, especially going into the next few minutes. All right, folks. But again, we'll be back on very shortly from right now. Talk to you all soon. Take care.